Everyone's here tonight. Special KOF. Shout out to the homeboys at Dream Cancel. You know.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dream Cancel podcast, and this is episode 120 of Dream Cancel Live. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCancel.com. In this episode, we're going to talk about all things King of Fighters 15. We're going to talk about the trailers. The recent trailer with Shun'ei. We're going to talk about the trailer that we saw last week. We're also going to talk about the delay and everything of the trailer. And we're also going to talk about a lot of the contents that was in the first trailer, like O2UM for PS4 and King of Fighters 14. What was that? Was it Ultimate Edition and Sam Show Season 3 and stuff like that. And it's also a new year. This is our first podcast of 2021. Happy New Year to everyone. We made it out of 2020 alive and stronger. So towards the end of the podcast, we might talk about our own plans individually for 2021, and maybe even talk about how we can improve as a community in 2021. So stay tuned. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to give us a like and subscribe and comment what you think. And if you're in the Twitch chat right now, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to give us a follow if you could. And without further ado, I would like to introduce this episode's discussion panel. Here we go. All right. First and foremost, what's good, DZ?
Hey, Desmond, what's up? Good to be here. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well, sir. Next, I want to say what's up to Kenshi. What's good, Kenshi?
You know, just got off work, chilling. Managed to make it home in time, so.
Oh, word. Yeah, I know, right? Thanks you for coming on, man. As always, appreciate it. And also,
thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. We're gonna talk about stuff real soon. I would love to have your opinion on it, man. And next we have Rome himself. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Des? Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year, fellas.
Yes, indeed. Happy New Year to all y'all. Most definitely. Like I said earlier, we made it out of 2020 alive, and hopefully we learned a lot. So yeah, I'm ready for the new year, man. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's see what's up. Let's see what crazy stuff unfolds in 2021. Good stuff. Hopefully not so much bad stuff. So yeah, man. How excited y'all are for 2021?
I kind of want to get the 2020 crap over with first, because you know how every time we start a new year, like some stuff from the last year kind of like bleeds over into January and February.
Yeah.
And then like March and onward sets the tone for the rest of the year. That kind of happened with 2020 now that I think about it, because it felt like two different years. Like we had January, February, like, you know, we had like Frosty and Lunar Belt, and then like everything just.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it felt like two different years. But no, I think this year will be pretty good. At least I hope so.
Okay. Anyone else have any kind of thoughts on how they feel about the beginning of the year?
I'm hoping reverse. I want to reverse 2020. 2020 started out like really well, you know, especially for me personally. I felt like I got a lot of things accomplished, and to mention the amazingness that was Lunar Bout, right? Like, it was awesome, right? So I'm hoping it starts off like that. Like how, I mean, my bad, how that started off, and then the year kind of tanked after that. I'm hoping we have a reverse where, like, the middle of February, everything starts to get really better, and we can, you know, try to have some normalcy again.
Yeah.
Or at least the best that we can. So I'm hoping it's just like that, like how DZ said, you know, it's going to seep in at first, like the last bit of 2020, but hopefully we can get that crap out and just move on to, you know, a better time for everybody overall this year.
Word. What about you, Kenshi? How you feel about 2021 so far?
Far, it's tried to hit me with as much bullshit as possible, but 2020 prepared me for the bullshit, so I'm good.
Word.
It's been kind of a rough start on my end, but we hanging in there. Everything's okay. I just got kind of good news from my job. The pharmacy inside of my job is about to administer first wave COVID vaccinations to
Nice.
emergency workers.
Mhm.
But because the shelf life of the vaccination is short, if they don't, give enough out to the elderly and emergency workers, they're going to start administering it to employees. So I'm on the wait list for that.
Oh, cool. All right, great, man. Hope everything with that goes well.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't genetically mutate from the side effects.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
pretty
man.
If I get it,
On-
I'm on a
on
wait
s-
list.
On some Kira type stuff.
He's gonna be those cycle balls at us with the first offline event.
Right. All right, but yo, before we get into the main topic, man, I just want to kind of share some things that's kind of going on with the scene and whatnot, and just kind of plug some stuff. So yeah, feel free to get Dream Council t-shirts at dreamcouncil.com/shop. Feel free to subscribe to us on Patreon, and feel free to join our Discord server. All that is in the description section of this video on YouTube and in the description section on Twitter. And we have associated links to other servers as well. So, there's many different SNK KOF servers, man. There's buku servers. So you go there and, we kind of look out for each other and stuff like that. So, yeah, check it out. And I wanted to share real quick a upcoming event. Well, actually a reoccurring event, Dragon Punch Online. O2UM is featured, I believe, every Saturday. And I believe it's the first one, yeah, according to this flyer. So it's the first event, and there's many other events as well. So, yeah, go ahead and check out Dragon Punch Online. Go to OhioFGC.com to check out more. Also, an event coming up, actually next month, Neo Dojo Special is a King of Fighters 13 exhibition event, February 20th. This is going to be ran by Game Goons, so be on the lookout for that. Also, Rome, man, would you like to talk about the new event you are kind of, or the upgraded event, or the event that you are now kind of expanding and growing?
Absolutely. So for those that may know me, who may have watched my tournaments, they're called the Regime Royale. I usually do them once a month or once every 2 months, and we usually run one game. Well, I said, you know what? Let's start this year off with a bang. I'm going to be running the first one. It's called Regime Royale Plus R. The R in this case will stand for Remastered, and it's going to be a 4-game, 2-day event. We're going to run the pools on Saturday. The top 8s will be on the Sunday. The date right now is February 13th through the 14th. So that's about a month from now, because today's the 14th.
Yes.
The Smash GG will go up sometime this weekend, either tomorrow or Saturday. It's just a few things happen in my life IRL, so I'm really quite busy right now. But yeah, look out for this, guys. It's gonna be dope. The 4 games that we're gonna have are Samurai Showdown 7, which is ran through Parsec. We're gonna have KOF O2UM, which is obviously on Steam. Garo Mark of the Wolves, which is through Fightcade, and a game that I am very excited to announce that I think deserves a spotlight, and it's something that I've been asked by quite a few people to run, and that is SNK Heroines. So that's gonna be PS4. So boot up your PS4s, boot up your Steams. Yeah. See, we got games basically on every platform. So if you got them, definitely come through. I'm looking forward to everyone. There's going to be a $50 pop bonus for every game, plus a Matcherino. So we're going to turn up, man. We're going to start this year off right. And I hope those are 4 games that you guys
He puts on the Fatal Cutie hat.
And, oh, yeah. I want to see people turn up, man. I want to see some stuff for that game, because that game has a lack of exposure. And I hope this event will inspire people to play.
When is this again?
February 13th through the 14th. I was initially going to run it the 20th, but as you can see, we have the Neo Dojo event, so I'm just doing mine 1 week before. So it's about a month from now. It's going to be on a Saturday and a Sunday.
February 13th.
I have a question for you, Rome.
Sure.
From your perspective, how like active is the current SNKH Heroines community?
So I've asked around in the Discord. I spent some time in the Discord, and I've seen people as active there as late as like November, going into December that just passed.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a smaller game, but I'm hoping that this could encourage some more people to play. I think for sure I'll have enough for a bracket because there's a lot of people that have told me like, sure they'll enter. There's people when I announced it on stream that was like actually really hyped about it, and I'm like, I hope you guys are legit hyped and not just saying it just because, right? Because this game, I honestly, maybe 4 or 5 people was like, you should run it, and then when I teased it on stream, I had a few people saying that I should run it, and I was like, well, let's do it, So I'm not gonna say it's the most active. I don't know much about it, but I'm going to be probably streaming it myself to see if I can, get some more heads and things like that. But I'm excited for this.
And this is obviously on PS4.
Yes,
Correct.
this is going to be on PS4.
Okay.
So I asked around in the Discord, and they said PS4 is where most of the player base is.
Yeah.
So I decided to run the event on PS4 instead of PC.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, man. That's pretty good.
Random ironic fact: February 13th is Shermie's birthday.
Oh, DZ confirmed the winning SNK heroine.
Oh man, but yeah, everybody check out Regime Royale plus R. Can you throw out that date one more time?
February 12th through the 13th. If it's cool, can I like post my Twitter and then?
Yeah, post it in the stream chat.
So I'll link you guys my Twitter because I'm gonna like the Smash GG. I'm just going over a few more details, and I have someone making a flyer for me. Like I said, so the Smash GG should be up either by tomorrow or Saturday morning, the latest. But yeah, and then you guys can just follow me on Twitter. I'll be sharing it there, and I'll be sharing on my stream as well. So yeah, hold on, I'm just linking it now, and just to stay notified. But basically, a month from now,
Okay.
is the event's gonna go down. So you have a month, get your practice on. Like I said, for those 4 games, and it's gonna be a good time. If you've ever seen any of my tournaments, we always have some of the hypest online events going on, and
Yeah.
we've been strong for about 2 years now with these. So,
All right, cool. Yeah, man, your events don't disappoint. They're very well done in all areas. So yeah, be sure to check them out. So yo, let's get into this. Let's get into the main topic, yo. So at first, we were all excited to check out the trailer on the 7th, but it got delayed, man. So how did y'all feel about that initially when it got delayed? Anybody can start.
Go ahead, Kenji.
For me, I was just like, wow, delay at the last minute. That's kind of surprising, but I mean, at the same time, 2021, I'm already ready for the bullshit. So,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, they made me wait long enough. They'll make me wait a couple more days. It's whatever. And then it was just like, boom, leak. Okay, yeah. Are these real? And then the rest is history. We already know.
Yeah. That's true. I remember for a second I was kind of like, this looks kind of like 14 or something. Is this some like hidden or new I would say cinematics for the re-release 14 or something? But then after I saw a little bit more, and then a lot of the images started to match those concept drawings, I was like, oh yeah, this is a leak. And I believe the way it kind of happened is maybe SNK, they sent out like press kits to certain websites, and they were supposed to like publish that information on the 7th or something like that, and because it got delayed, it got deleted,
Like, I think those images were supposed to be put out with an article about the 15 trailer and the 14 special edition.
Yeah.
Because the trailer got yanked last minute, and we only found out about 14. Like, I guess they just got coded into the article without realizing it, and that title just ended up getting out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably had those articles already like scheduled to go too. So I guess maybe like they had to catch it like right when it went out and maybe like remove it or make it hidden, stuff like that.
I do respect SNK for their reaction being like, just put out the trailer, since like we've already seen like the, because I
Yeah.
figured that was gonna happen. I'm like, oh, these leaks. I'm like, well, I should just put this trailer out like the next day or something like that.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was same day, wasn't it? Like that night.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I believe
Yeah,
so.
it was within 24 hours. It felt like.
Yeah, like I want to say it leaked like that morning, and then like later that evening they just threw the trailer up.
Right. Right. Yeah, how'd you feel, Rome, about the leaks and the whole delay situation?
So for me, it's kind of funny because I woke up late that day, or not late, but for me, I mean, it might be late for people because I wake up at like usually 3 or 4 because I work overnights.
Hmm?
So I got up, and by the time I got up, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna set up the stream in a few hours. We're gonna watch the trailer and everything. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I do like everybody does. I check Twitter as soon as I get up, and I see people like, what? They canceled the trailer, this, and that. And I was like, oh man, they canceled it, but I don't want to like say I feel the same way as Kenshi, where like it's 2021, I already expected, but I was like, man, it wouldn't really bother me much because I felt like it was only going to be like a 2-minute trailer anyway. Like I didn't think it was going to be nothing major, so I was like, well, it's a bummer. I was more upset about like that they didn't say like, oh, sorry, the trailer is delayed because of this. We'll show the trailer tomorrow or the next day. So what kind of got me upset was they just said, oh, no trailer, that's it. And there was no announcement of, sorry, maybe tomorrow we'll have it or next week or whatever. There was nothing like that. It was just, oh no, we're not going to post the trailer today. That's it. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's vague. You gotta like, I think we deserve at least to know why or what happened.
Yeah.
And then everything else going on in the world, because that was also the whole Capitol Hill situation. That's when that started, and I was like, that was taking my mind. Like I was worrying about that more than this trailer. I was just like, it is what it is. It happens.
Yeah.
But I still feel like they should have like at least said something. Like, oh, it got delayed because of a state of emergency or whatever the case may be. Say that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. Yeah, the whole state of emergency in Japan. And then there was people kind of saying, well, is it for like just Tokyo or is it going to be Osaka? Because, Osaka, that's where the SNK headquarters is, right? Like it's not directly in Tokyo.
Well, but I think they extended it to like the whole country, like right before it went into effect.
Yeah, it started to grow.
And I think that's what threw a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah. So it was a lot of different things too. And then there were some people saying, oh, maybe they're not ready or something, or maybe like something else happened.
Nah, if they weren't ready, they would have pushed that date back like way before the day of.
Yeah.
Like, so I that's what made me think like, okay, this isn't like an issue with the game or the trailer or anything like that. Like I think, like I was worried about like, okay, it's either because of this lockdown or like something happened to someone at the office, maybe, I don't know. But
right.
Thankfully that wasn't the case, and things managed to go through. But
right. But yeah, let's fast forward to when we actually got the announcement that the trailer was going to be live, like almost like 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes after they posted it on Twitter. And it was like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Like, I think the leaked images were like at their peak, like they were getting spread everywhere.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, because I have alerts for SNK's Twitter on my phone, and all of a sudden my phone just starts pinging like, hey, we're gonna put the trailer up at 6 PST, and I'm like, I'm looking at my clock and it says like 8:45. I'm like, in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, what was I doing? I think I was in the middle of like an Overwatch game, and I was like, all right, I was like, we have to either win or lose this game so I can like go look at this trailer.
Right. So when we finally took a look at the trailer, it was like 12 minutes. I was like, oh man, that's going to be a lot of content. So why don't we just break it down? Why don't we start with what we saw first on the trailer was 15. So man, what was y'all like initial thoughts, man, when you first started like watching it, man? Rome, you could start, and then Kenshi and DZ.
So I watched it on my stream, and I'm not gonna say I was blown away, but I was very satisfied with what I've seen. I thought it looked good. Kill in particular, I mean, just you could do the two images comparison, right, between the 14 and 15, and Kill looked amazing. I thought for the first trailer, this is what they needed to show, because of, you know, we still have PTSD from the KOF 14 trailer that was first shown though.
Yeah.
And I thought, as from what I've seen in that, what is like about a minute clip, I thought it looked great. I like the song that they had. I can't wait to listen to more of it. I think it sounds like it's going to be a cool song. But I just to close up, I was actually, what made me really satisfied was the fact that I'm not sure if I said it to you guys or maybe you've heard me say it on my stream or somewhere else, but I was very much in favor of them reusing the assets from 14 and just toning it up. I know there's a lot of people that wants KOF 15 to be like completely new models and everything, and I said, nah, if they just touch up what they have, you know, work on the shading as it seems like they've done, and fix little areas, fix some textures and stuff, I'm perfectly fine with reusing the models, because, you know, why not? You know, so I was very just from that 2-minute clip I saw, I'm like, okay, this is looking good. I'm excited to see what's in store.
Okay. All right. What did you think, Kenshi?
For 15 in particular, I mean, like, I was watching this stuff, like, at the tail end of my shift at work, because that's when it dropped. I was still clocked in. So, like, I was, like, counting down my register while watching the trailer, and I thought the game looked fantastic. Like, it was a huge step up from 14, in my opinion. And mind you, after the graphics patch, I thought 14 looked fine. So I was pretty impressed. It wasn't, like, groundbreaking or anything, but I liked how they kept it looking like KOF. I know there was a lot of discussion of wanting it to look like Guilty Gear, or, you know, any other Arxis game, or, you know, more akin to Sam Show, and I'm like, no, let's keep it KOF looking. I like the way it looks. It's very KOF-y with a lot better 3D, you know, effects. Like, they're putting their good 14 models and making them look way better than what they did with their in-house engine by using Unreal, and I like that. So I was impressed, but I was kind of disappointed at the same time, because I wanted more gameplay. I wanted to see what... I'm just gonna drop it. I just wanted them to say rollback netcode in the trailer, but
Yeah.
you know.
I wasn't expecting that yet. I knew they were.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't to be expected. It's just something I wanted. So I was hoping for maybe a little bit more gameplay, maybe more characters. But what we did get, I was very satisfied with. I would say, if I had to choose between the two launch trailers, you know, the two initial trailers between 14 and 15, yeah, 15 killed it for me. Like, it's a lot better. A lot better.
Okay. All right, DZ, what'd you think, man?
I was impressed. I'm really glad that they waited to until it looked presentable for them to put it out. And a lot of people need to keep in mind that this is just the work in progress. Because even if you go back to 14, like, we all remember that horrid Kyo face from that first trailer. But even when 14 first came out, Kyo didn't look that bad compared to that trailer. Like, they definitely touched him and a couple other people up before the game actually came out. So if it looks this good now, and we're not even, like, close to launch yet, then it's only going to look better. But I also agree with Kenshi. I kind of wish we got more gameplay. I particularly wanted to see the HUD. I remember a lot of complaints about 14's HUD that it looked kind of basic, which I kind of agree with. So I was a little disappointed that we didn't see the HUD. But again, very first trailer, so they're not going to show that much. They're not going to just give us the whole game right away. But I mean, I thought it looked good. I thought Kyo looked really good. I thought Shun'ei looked fantastic. And like, I know a lot of people are very vocal about not liking Shun'ei's look, but I think they're kind of thrown off by the fact that 14 wasn't the best looking game when we first saw him. So I feel like that could be influencing their bias a little bit, because, like, you know, seeing, and I think I actually just tweeted a few hours ago about how, like, they went into detail about his updated look. Like, even though even though at the core foundation his costume is the same, there is a lot of it that's updated that if you pay attention, you'll actually notice, like, okay, this is like an updated looking Shun'ei. This isn't like the exact same model that we were looking at in 14. But yeah, everybody looked great. Faces look great. I'm glad that they, like Ron said, I'm glad that they kept their models and just updated them. That actually gives me a lot of hope that we might see a lot of people returning from 14 in this game, simply because, like, okay, they already have those assets. If they're only going to add, a few more characters who don't have models yet, they don't have that much work to do. They just have to touch up what they have and then create a few new ones. So yeah, I was really impressed with the initial trailer. The song is a lot less grating. I didn't like Follow Me. I'm sorry, burn me at the stake. It is what it is. But but this one I really like. I like this song.
Okay, all right, cool, fair enough. I will say on my end, I like how colorful it looked. Like, it looks very, very colorful.
I love the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something to do with it being at a beach-looking stage or whatever, with the sunlight and the blue sky and stuff. But everything looks a lot more vibrant this time. Just looking at the models, yeah, it looks more brighter, man. Like, they're improving upon the shading quite a bit. I agree with you guys on the faces. The faces look a little more defined, and they have a little bit more personality. It doesn't look like they all have the same face and stuff like that. It definitely looks a lot more different. I have kind of noticed a little bit that the faces, it almost looks kind of more closer to like anime, even though like in 14 it was sort of anime. It looks a little more like
I think
90s anime-ish looking, sort of.
Yeah, I think they're leaning a little closer towards that New Beginning manga too, because I'm noticing a few minor like nuances that remind me of that manga.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that they use the same assets, because they kind of have to. It's a good idea to use the same assets that they did in 14. I was kind of expecting, well, not I don't say I was expecting, but I was kind of hoping, that they'll kind of like use a little bit more of like kind of hand-drawn kind of look and shading on some of the models a little bit, or some sort of like cell kind of looking technology to make things a little bit more closer to like hand-drawn animation, because that's what I kind of like, but I wasn't surprised that they kind of kept this route and just kind of made things just look a little more better, man. It looks close to like Sam Show's 7, the way that everything looks kind of more polished and glossy and stuff like that. And as far as gameplay footage, yeah, I was kind of hoping for that too, but like usually with a lot of trailers, man, they don't really show too much gameplay footage. Depending on the company, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't too surprised that they went after just like cinematics. They just wanted just to like wow people and stuff like that, But overall, I was pretty impressed by it. Even though like there were some things that I was a little disappointed by, just because of my own aesthetics and expectations. But it looks fairly good. It looks, again, nice and vibrant, man. And yeah, I'm just kind of like I'm ready just to see a lot more. Why don't we kind of talk about the next thing that we saw, which was King of Fighters 14 Ultimate Edition. And that was actually leaked too around the same time those images was leaked.
No, didn't they put that out themselves? When, like,
yeah, they
like,
put that
like,
out themselves.
Yeah, like that.
Oh yeah,
out.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, they pushed back the 15 reveal trailer, but then that 14 thing still launched, which I guess they had it set to premiere on YouTube. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that came from SNK.
Okay. I could have sworn I saw some like people retweeting that, and then SNK like released it, because like I was like, oh, I'm not surprised. What you was gonna say, Ron? Did you say something?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I think I saw it leaked too. That's the way I saw it, but I'm sure maybe SNK did put something out. But the way I was exposed to Ultimate was I saw someone like leaked it. Checking the store or something like that.
Yeah, me too. That's why.
You're right. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't surprised.
I think what's that account? Gatare. I think they tweeted that it had a listing. It had a listing on like the Asia KSN store or something like that.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about this, man? Because some people are a little disappointed. I mean, I think some people will feel a little bit more at ease and a little more excited if, like, maybe it had some sort of upgrade in the netcode department. But what do y'all think of this, man?
I'm on both sides of the fence. Like I see it as kind of pointless because like I feel like anybody who really wanted to play KOF 14 already has the game and all the DLC. So it's just like, what's the point? But then I think about it and it's like, okay, well, maybe this is their way of saying like, okay, we're done with 14. This is like going to be the Ultimate Edition of 14. We're moving on. This is a legacy game. If you want to go back and enjoy the legacy game and you haven't already, here's a version you can buy and it just comes with everything.
Right.
Yeah, my thoughts on this are I'm kind of in that same boat with DZ where I'm in the middle. The only thing that really makes me not be full on for it is I feel like it's too late. And what I mean is KOF 14. There's people who wanted to play KOF 14 who would ask me like a few years back, maybe like 2018, 2019, like, oh, I want to get into KOF and this and that. And I tell everyone, start with 14. 14 is probably the easiest KOF, and you'll learn the fundamentals. This is where like I learned how to play KOF really, and I went back and played the other ones. Like better, I should say. But I feel like this is like really good at training newcomers. The problem with that is that 14 was very rarely on sale, and I remember 14 being like $60, and this is like 2018, 2019, full DLC. So like, tell someone who's new to the series, hey man, this game is already 3 years old and it's still $60 plus DLC is like another $40. That's a hard commitment. You're telling me I got $100 I got to pay for a game I may or may not like just because I'm for the newest one. So I think this collection is good. I just feel like it's a few years late. I feel like we should have got like when season 3.0 DLC came out. When they did the 3.11 patch, which was like 9 months later, they probably should have dropped like an Ultimate Edition then.
Yeah, that would have been the best time to do it.
Absolutely, right there. Oh, and it's coming with a patch, so it's a 3.11 patch plus all this DLC, all the costumes, everything for what is it? $40 is going for?
I think so. Yeah,
like 40.
Wow. Yeah, they definitely $40. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
And
I
then
still don't have the DLC on PC because I'm like, I already have everything on PS4. I don't want to buy the DLC of the game. I just spent
it's so expensive.
It was a PC community.
To get like the game and like all the DLC on Steam, it's like $90.
That's why I never got the PC version of 14 because like part of me wanted to because I want access to both platforms, but it's like I have everything on PS4 and you want me to spend $90-$100 on Steam? No, I wasn't doing that.
Or wait for a sale.
Right, but they didn't have a lot of sales. That
wasn't on sale at all. It was on sale every now and then.
They would to buy it, and they would say like, "I'm telling them wait for a sale." We never found a sale, and then it would be every once in a while there'd be a sale because I bought it for PC, but it's just a core game, and I paid like $25 for it without the DLC and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing is now, like I had a lot of new people come to my stream. Especially yesterday, and say like, hey, I want to get into KO, and I was able to direct them to the Ultimate Edition. So there's people and that will probably get it now because they're getting ready for a 15. But I just think it should have been like 2 years ago. They should have dropped this.
Yeah, and also it would have been cool if they would have like reintroduced everyone to it like now and then like have it on sale or something like that, or have like another extra or something like that, like more PS4 themes or something. I don't know, but just something extra, or even like update something in the game, update the netcode or something, or even like I was even gonna say even like more DLC like costumes or something, but that's probably asking for too much. But I
think they're done with 14. I think like this is like, hey, after we put this out, like that's it, like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a lot of people online are just like, what, why, what? With no, like, netcode patch or anything like that, man. But, all right, I guess so. I do think they have to do something with the PC version, man. Like, that is too expensive, man. And plus, on top of that, like, a lot of people have trouble operating the Steam version, like, different PCs and stuff. Is like, it's a little janky for some people.
Really? That's
Yeah.
the first I've heard. Well, not the first I've heard of it, but
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
can't run it.
Yeah, compared to like the other Steam games or like 13, you can run 13 on anything, but 14, some people say like the game's just not running well, man. Like it's just like the optimization is just like really, really like poor for 14.
And the funny thing is you could have like a good machine and it could still be problematic for you.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah.
yeah. because
Zarin, my roommate, for the longest time, it ended up fixing itself, but for the longest time, he constantly had frame rate issues.
yeah,
And his PC, you know, at the time was better than the PC that I was playing it on, and I never had any issues. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
How are you dropping frames? You know, so I tried to mess with the settings and help him fix it, and it alleviated the problem a little bit, and then it came back, and now it's gone now. So it's just like, it's very inconsistent.
yeah, yeah. Especially again compared to like King of Fighters 13, you know, which ran well and has like, you know, low like CPU usage and stuff like that. So yeah, those are
13 runs well. Like the only issue I had with 13 was like reading certain controllers, but that aside, the game ran fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the apparently because Elky Dory was helping me out with it. It's it's your graphics card. I have an AMD Radeon, and
Yeah.
apparently, as in KOF 14 doesn't like that because I entered Battle Spectrum had an online tournament, and I just signed up. I was like, oh yeah, it's PC, and I literally bought the game right before I signed up for the tournament, so I never knew about the frame rate issues. And then I played, and I assumed it was like maybe the person I was playing against was lagging. But then I went to training mode and I'm like, yo, it's like I'm having crazy frame rate issues. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can run Resident Evil 3 Remake fine, like perfectly fine on the highest settings. I can run everything else. So I'm like, it can't be my computer. This is the only game, right? And then turns out, yeah, that's what it was KOF 14. And there's like so many things, like there's like a whole fix, but it's like the game's not the game at that point. Like I got to turn off like 1,000 different things, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just play the PS4 version at that point. Like,
yeah, that's the most stable version, you know. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yo, let's talk about the next thing that they announced on the trailer, which is 2K2 UM on PS4, and a lot of us we saw that coming from the Jametsu article that a lot of people dug up.
Not even that. Like as soon as I saw that they were updating the game to run a 64-bit, I was like, my sixth sense went off. I'm like, this smells like a console port.
Yeah,
like preparation for a console port. Yeah,
yeah,
because it was running in 32 this whole time, and who was it? I think it was Elky Dory. He DM'd me on Discord. He's like, hey, you know they're updating O2 to run 64-bit? And I was like, really? And then I checked my Steam, and I was like, oh wow, there is like a beta, like a 64-bit beta. And I was like, yeah, they're prepping for console port for sure.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't sure about that, but after a while, after you kind of explaining it to me, and other people kind of like, kind of hinting at that as well. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, we'll see how it does. And I remember like reading some like tweets that Cold Mystics kind of put out, and like, I think some people was kind of asking about it, and they were kind of like, not really being too direct with it, and kind of making it sound like it wasn't like super possible, sort of, But then when I noticed that, yeah, it is coming, I was like, okay, I guess they were just trying to not spill the beans.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it under wraps, which I understand.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, for me, I wasn't expecting it at all, and I didn't even know about that leak. So like, when I seen them say O2UM on PS4, mind you, I'm still at work while I'm reading it. I literally shout, holy fucking shit, because like, this is my favorite KOF game, and I'm just like, buying it again. Got the 360 version, got it on Steam, let's do it again. Can't wait. I was so excited. That I'm not gonna lie, that was the most exciting thing like for me in the entire trailer. I was like, KOF O2UM? Yo, what? On PS4?
Right.
God.
Yeah, so hopefully when things turn around, with this whole COVID thing, and we can like play offline again, we can, bring our PS4s
finally
to play offline.
Tournament.
again,
Yeah,
I mean, because before, I'm gonna be honest, like back in 2016, you know, when it came out on Steam, we actually we used to play on 360 Xbox 360, and some people brought their laptops and stuff like that. But the Combo Breaker tournament for Otuyum, it was on 360, and then some people was like, "Oh,
I remember the
man,
tournament.
some people was like, "Oh, I don't have a 360 stick. I'm not sure if it'll work," and stuff like that. So, I mean, but now it's going to be different.
I used a converter from a PS2 to USB, and I used that in that tournament, and it worked because most controllers default to 360 type controllers. At least back then on PC, they defaulted to 360.
Right. Cool. Do y'all think they're gonna maybe add anything in it, and then maybe add something to the Steam version, or y'all think it's they're just gonna slap what they did on Steam on the PS4?
I think they're just gonna slap it on the PS4. I'll
Yeah.
be happy if they put a certain thing in there, but
That starts with an L.
yeah, certain thing
Yeah.
that starts with an L.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not gonna get my hopes up.
Right. Yeah, same here. I mean, it was cool that they added the replay function, you know, and we were kind of like, oh, maybe it might be lobbies later or some sort of like spec mode, but I don't know. I mean, again, I would love for them to, you know, kind of expound on that a little bit, you know, but yeah. When do y'all think it's coming out? Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, I should probably ask, do y'all think we're gonna have like a open beta, kind of like how we had for like, you know, Last Blade 2 and like Garo and stuff? Like, when do y'all think that might pop off?
I don't know. I mean, as far as release window, if it goes anything like 97 GM did, it might be April. That's just a shot in the dark from me. But I mean, as far as a beta, they could do one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they feel like they've optimized it great for PS4 already. I don't really see much point in it because I feel like the 2 beta tests that we ran on Steam were sufficient because a lot of people participated in those betas. Like, I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like, I think they feel like they had that netcode like down. Like, okay, there's no like major issues or anything with it. But I don't know. They could do a beta. But as far as the release window, I'm going to guess the spring.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm kind of guessing around that time too. What'd you think, Ron?
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, like the next 3 months, I think, probably like around then, like early spring, I'd say. Probably the same time TZ is saying, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Didn't they say like at the end, like, play, kind of like saying like, oh, play this while you wait for 15. Like they kind of,
Yeah.
That in, so yeah. And I don't think 15 is coming out until like summertime. That's my speculation.
Yeah.
Summer, fall, the latest. Yeah.
Yeah, fall the latest. Just because of like what Sam Show came out in June, 14 came out in August, SNK Herman's came out in like August. So just assuming that they're gonna put that out in the summer, they'll probably drop this like 3 months before. So we'll have like at least 2-3 months of playing 021 console before 15 officially drops.
Yeah.
Speaking of console, we don't have a platform for 15 confirmed yet.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to get into that and a little later. I was thinking about that too. But as far as O2UM, yeah, I think they might do like an open beta just in case, to iron out any kind of weird things that might happen, from the conversion, from Steam to PS4. And then once everything's good, they're just going to release it officially. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it might happen within, the next 3 months. Man, when do y'all think? Do y'all think they're gonna do 98 UMFE this year, man? And if so, when do y'all think, man?
They need to. They really need to, because I'm tired of looking at that game. Because in my personal opinion, that game has the best version of Shun'ei in it, and I can't play people online. Well, I can, but not an optimal experience in that game.
It's not as fun.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I was hoping we'd get it this year, but I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I feel like we have so much SNK stuff coming out this year that they might hold it off a little later.
You think maybe after 15 or next year or something?
Yeah, maybe after 15. because we got 15 coming. We have O2UM technically support, but technically we still have what is it? Ultimate Edition for 14 and the season 3 of Samurai Shodown. I like to drop a rollback for 98. That would be like essentially that's 5 new games. You know what I'm trying to say? Like 5 SNK projects in 1 year. That might be a bit overload. You know what I mean? So I think they'll hold off on FE for a little later. But I do know it's coming, man. I have a feeling we're definitely getting FE.
They know we want it.
Back. Absolutely, yeah. They know we do. So I know it's coming. I just, I think it'll be a little later because there's just so many other projects they're working on this year.
Yeah.
So
I hope they find some time to kind of drop it. But yeah, I agree. It's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. And it took O2UM kind of a while, to have the rollback update. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, keep your fingers crossed indeed. The next thing I wanted to kind of touch upon real quick, man, is the Sam Show season 3, season pass 3, and it has Hibiki Takane. What did y'all think about that, man? I thought they were going to choose maybe Setsuna or Kide, but then I forgot that like Hibiki, like she was in like CBS 2, but what y'all think about that?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. I was gonna, because I think I'm like the only Sam Show player left here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm just more of a commentator, but yeah, I knew Hibiki was coming. Like I was really hoping like Mordia or Setsuna, but I knew it was gonna be Hibiki. I don't understand her popularity, but apparently she's very popular. She made it into CBS 2, like you said, and that's where most people seem to know her from.
Yeah.
Because I don't know many Last Blade players, and it's cool. But she's also like a female Ukyo, so it's gonna be a little rough fighting her.
We'll see how they design her, right?
That is true. Yeah, we'll see what they can do for her. But I think she's a cool character. Sam Show's roster as a whole is, I think, very great. It's very good. So even with Cham Cham, I don't necessarily care for the character, but I see a lot of people was hype about it. So I think that's cool. The DLC is looking nice. It's always been looking good, at least for the first 2 seasons. But the DLC character everyone wants is a rollback.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting that DLC character for Samurai. I think Samurai Shodown 7 is also done in terms of like everything they want for it. Like even I think this season 3 was in the books for a while. So I just think, the Parsec route is what we're gonna do, and it's unfortunate, but I just don't think rollback is going to be a thing in this game's future. And that's really what the game needs over a new character.
Yeah, that's too bad. I hope. I think we know that SNK knows that it needs a netcode overhaul. For sure. And for the likelihood of that not happening is like it's bad, man. I said this yesterday on my stream. Like, y'all using Parsec and stuff like that, man. And like, big props to y'all, dude, for doing that. Understand like, it works well, and understand like, I want to say it looks kind of inconvenient and sometimes, with all the setup. It looks like y'all have a good like flow and structure to the way y'all set it up, which is good. But I kind of feel like it shouldn't come to that. Like, it should already be in the game, sort of. Like, the good netcodes should already be in the game or be updated. Like, we shouldn't have to do all these little makeshift ways and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? On some, like, a string and 2 cans and stuff, and, some MacGyver type stuff to get things working,
It's a shame because, like, I'm not a Sam Show player, I'll admit it, but the game looks and plays really well from what I've seen, and a little bit I did mess with it. And, I see so many dedicated Sam Show players that, like, love their game, look at new announcements for characters and stuff, and are just like, because they know that they're not going to be able to play it online.
Yeah.
It really breaks my heart to, like, see that kind of attitude from them, but I also can't blame them for it.
Yeah. And plus, it's not on Steam, too. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, that's definitely a big fuck up in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like Sam Show. I really do. I do not like playing it anymore because like if I don't know if I just got used to how offline felt from locals back when we had locals for that game in my area, or if the netcode actually got worse, because like in the beginning I didn't mind it at all. It felt pretty nice, but as like the patches came out and things were added, like it was like sometime after Rimururu was added, because I was playing her for a while. The game just started to feel a lot worse than what I remembered at the beginning, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not playing this. This is like, my character already sucks, and I'm not trying to suffer from the game bogging me down. Not just my poor character choice, but the game's actually messing me up too. Oh yeah, let's stop here. But like, if Samsho had a better netcode, I'd actually be really excited for Hibiki, because like Rome said, she's female Ukyo, and Ukyo and Hibiki both use Bato Jutsu, and if you know what my namesake is, Kenshin Himura, who is the Batosai who specialized in Bato Jutsu. So I really like those kinds of characters, but that game's unplayable online right now. And I don't really want to buy it from Epic or, deal with Parsec just to play it.
Yeah,
I mean, I already have the PS4 version with the season passes, and I'm just like...
Yeah. I agree, man. I just hope that it gets, a rollback update or something. Or something, some sort of improvement to make things a little bit better, man. Because, like, I really, I really, like, I feel for y'all, man, for the Sam Show crew. Y'all deserve it, man. So why don't we shift back to 15, and we saw a trailer yesterday for Shun'ei, man. It was just a single character trailer. It was 15 seconds.
Thank you. I was about to do that.
And man, what'd y'all think, man? DZ, did you want to speak on it?
So I'm going to start off with the good, and then I'll get into everything else. So I liked how Shun'ei looked, and I liked how the game looked in motion, but that editing and the fact that it was for a character that we already knew about, I was kind of let down. Like, if you're going to give us a trailer for a character we already know about, at least make a better trailer than that, because it was jarring. Like, it hurt when I watched it like a couple times, it hurt my eyes with that many cut-ins or like cutaways, because it was just like the stage position is shifting and like things are resetting out of nowhere. It just wasn't a good trailer. Like, I was really disappointed, because with 14 you had team trailers. So it's like, okay, if you're going to give us a trailer for a character we already know is in the game, at least show their whole team. Even if their whole team is characters we already know about, we know that they're a team, so that's relevant information. But yeah, like, it just didn't pop for me. Like, even if the characters weren't done yet, you could just show whatever you had for them. Because if you guys remember the Yagami team trailer for 14, Mature was not done yet. We only saw like the last bit of her climax, and then the rest of the trailer was just Iori and Vice. So it was just like, at least we knew, like, okay, this is the presentation for that team, not one character and a bunch of awkward cutoffs that hurt people's eyes when they look at it for too long.
Yeah, it kind of looked like someone was just like seeking through a video. You know how you like seek through a video, like you just go on a timeline and you just skip like you might go back, you might go forward. So
yeah. I liked it, but I didn't like that editing.
Yeah, what you think, Kenshi? I
personally liked what Laban said about it. Laban said, "Oh, that's actually the gameplay in motion with Street Fighter V's implementation of rollback." I thought
the teleporting.
Was so funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was so
man,
funny.
PC Shun'ei about to be a thing.
Wow, that's crazy. Ron, what you think, bro?
So just real quick, I wanted to ask DZ, how recently did you watch the Vice and Iori trailer from 14?
The last time I like sat down and watched it, I can't even remember the last time I like sat down and watched that trailer, but I specifically remember not seeing much of Mature in that trailer aside from the climax. Like,
okay,
because I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing a lot of her.
I've only watched it maybe once or twice when they revealed it, but I don't know if it's me. I have this weird Mandela effect of seeing Vice have her, was it Daiside, the kick move?
Yeah.
I remember, for some reason, I remember seeing that in the KOF 14 trailer and getting really hyped, like, oh, they brought this move back. And then the game comes out and she doesn't have the move. I just want to know if I'm the crazy one.
Wait,
And then that's her lightning legs move or
lightning leg.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't remember her having that at all, like in the trailer or anything. You're thinking of Ravenous, because the side is the sleeve. She's always had that.
Oh, that's how I see. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. This is probably just me. I think I was trying to will it in the game because I really like that move, and it wasn't.
She needs that move back. I don't know why they won't give it to her.
Well, if she's in 15, better be in 15. SNK, don't play me. Put Vice in 15. If she does come back, I hope she get it. But back to the topic. It's funny because I was playing KOF 14 on stream yesterday, and someone in my chat was like, "Oh, they just dropped the Shun'ei trailer," and like, you know, a few people were hyped about it. I was like, "Cool." Well, me and Denjin were playing, and we was like, "All right, cool." After this match, I'll pull it up on stream, and we're watching it, and I'm just like, "Okay," like literally 10 seconds in, I see like 14 logo, and I'm like, "Bro, if I just look to the monitor to the left of me, I'll just see exactly everything from that trailer that I was just doing because I was playing Shun'ei."
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay, and let's do the slowdown. So I slowed it down frame by frame, and the only thing I noticed was, oh, cool, he has a new command normal, which is like an overhead. You know, it looks like an overhead, but it looks like he can also combo it off C. So I'm wondering, like, maybe they took out the forward B, or maybe that like just hit standing. And I did notice that his A dash punch, it doesn't it's like a soft knockdown, just like how it is in 14 right now. And that was pretty much it. But I was like, it looks, you know, the colors look great. I do like the colors, but to call that a trailer was just disappointing, you know. And to hype that up as like, we'll have more news next week, guys. Like, and then to show this, I was like, no, it's not like.
Yeah, it seemed more like a teaser than anything else. I don't know. Again, everything looks okay. It's just the editing I just didn't like that much, man. And plus, like, I was like, dude, like, y'all are just really holding back. Like, show the rest of the team, show some more characters, show some gameplay. Like, let us know some more news about the game or something like that, man. Like, I hope they don't do this next week.
Yeah, I hope they look at the feedback and just give us a look. We're not asking for the whole meal. We know we got to wait for that, but just a little more.
Yeah, bring us the bread basket or something, man. Like,
this is like a piece of bread. This is not even a full like.
Yeah, this is like a crumb, pretty much, man.
What it looks like, the game looks nice in motion, but it's just like you. And here's another thing too: is like, you got my money already. I played KOF 14. If this is quote unquote KOF 14 part 2 or whatever some people are saying, or like even a better version, you got my money. But it's not my money that you only want. You want to get the non.
Yeah.
You want to get as much as you can.
This trailer, and they're just like, whatever, you know. And that's the thing. We got to get them. We're gonna get the game. We love KOF. I know Kenshi in particular really loves 14, just like me. And I'm sure you guys do too, right? I know you guys play 14 and just KOF as a whole. You got our money, but it's not you got us already. It's the other people whose money you got to get. And trailers like this is not it, Chief.
Yeah, I agree. I was even kind of expecting like the same like length of the first trailer they had, and then just share some more news and show a little bit more of like what they kind of explained in the first trailer, and maybe even talk a little bit about like O2UM, you know, on PS4. Maybe go a little bit more into like Sam Show. But I was disappointed by this. I was like, man, what are y'all doing? Y'all just really holding back, man. Like, why? You know. But yeah, I just hope they kind of pick up the pace a little bit for like next week and the weeks to come, pretty much, man. Because I don't think this is like the way to go. This is like too like kind of slow as far as like sharing like what's in the game and stuff like that, you know. But why don't we talk about, and this is what DZ kind of brought up a little bit, is the system. What system y'all think this game might come out on? Y'all think it might just be PS4? Y'all think it's PS5? What do y'all think, DZ?
Well, let Kenshi go because
Okay.
I don't think Kenshi touched on the last topic that much.
Oh, I think it's gonna actually dual release on PS4 and PS5. I think that would probably be maybe the better idea because, like, depending on how well their optimization is, PS4 is dated hardware. It could be really kind of iffy on PS4.
Mhm.
If anything, it's going to have massive load times on PS4. So I think it would be a good idea to like dual release it. That way you can get the people who don't have a PS5 yet, and get the people like Vicio who got the PS5 on launch day. So I think that would be a good idea. But what I really want them to do, more than anything, if you're going to put it on consoles, put it on PC the same day.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. No 1 year
Because-
wait.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm more of a PC gamer than I am a console gamer these days. And I'd much rather be able to buy it on my PC and not have to constantly switch, my monitor's input for whatever console it releases on, than go back to my PC later. Like, I'd rather just have it on my PC.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, I think a dual platform release, previous gen and current gen would be the best idea.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with Kenshi. I think most importantly is whatever console it ends on, it needs to be simultaneous with a PC release. Don't make PC players wait for too long. But that being said, I do think it's going to be PS4. I think it will get like maybe a port for PS5 later on, but I think it's going to be optimized for PS4. That's just me thinking. But I'll be there regardless. I don't have a PS5 yet, but if I know the game's coming out in like the summertime, I'll definitely get my PS5 beforehand, to make sure I'm ready. So,
Right. Okay. All right. You have any thoughts on this, DZ?
I pretty much agree with what Roman Kenshi said. I think it's going to be either a dual gen release or like release for PS4, but like be optimized for PS5 when you run it on like kind of like how Tekken 7 is. Like I think it was Markman who tweeted a video of Tekken 7 running on like Xbox Series and PS5, and like the load time was just like severely cut down. So it's like I feel like it might be like that. Where like, but if you look back on PS4 and Xbox One, Tekken 7 runs just fine. So it's like I think it might be that kind of situation where like no matter which generation of console you have, you'll be fine. But we need a simultaneous release for PC. I don't understand why both 14 and Sam Show did that, because if you make PC players wait too long, they're just not going to buy it. They're just going to find something else to be interested in, and they're just going to go play that. So it's like, and it was a long delay too. I think it was like 3 or 4 months, or like even longer. So like we need the simultaneous releases and optimize the game to run well on PC, like different PCs. I understand that people might need stronger specs because it's a new generation game, but at the very least, like, make it to where, like, okay, if you've got a decent PC, you can run it without a problem. Like, I don't understand why some people, like, have monster PCs that can't run 14, but yet somebody can run it well on a toaster. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's odd. That's really, really odd. But yeah, I agree with y'all, man. Yeah, they definitely need to have a day one PC release. Yeah, waiting a whole year, like, a lot can happen in 1 year, A lot of different games could come out in 1 year and definitely distract you. Even if there are like updates to that particular game, like other games are going to distract people. So yeah, they really need to try to get it up on PC as fast as they can, man. Either next to the like console release, day one, or a few weeks, a month, or something. But don't slack on it. What were you gonna say?
No longer than 2 weeks. Like, like if it can't be day one with console, no longer than 2 weeks. Longer than 2 weeks is just like, what's the point?
Yeah. Cool. Next thing I want to talk about is what do y'all think, content-wise, the game should have to attract non-KOF players? Like or the casuals or people that don't play KOF. What they need to put in the game that might help that a little bit, may help them kind of get into the KOF universe and the game.
We need more interactions between these characters. Like 14 just kind of just did away with it outside of like specific interactions in the story mode. But if you remember KOF 13, and this is one thing I really like about KOF 13, is that when you went through arcade mode in that game, every single character had dialogue with every other character, including themselves if you ran into them in the mirror match. Like like, oh, you look like me. Oh, well, I'm the real me. Like little things like that.
Yeah.
You know, but then on the flip side, KOF 13 had no character intros. So 14 brought back the character intros, but then there wasn't a lot of dialogue between characters. So it was just like, if you could just take what both of those games did and just kind of like mesh them together, I think that would actually be really good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to be learning about these characters for the first time. A lot of these people are going to be interested in like these characters' motivations and their interactions with other characters. Like I remember when Shun'ei's trailer dropped for Heroes, and a lot of people were just like, "I've never played an SNK game in my life, but hey, look, this game's coming to the Switch. I don't know who this chick is, but she looks cute and fun, and I want to know more about her." So like when you see things like that, it's like, okay, like SNK characters are really cool looking. Like no matter what you feel about any particular character, there's somebody out there that likes that character.
Yeah.
So if you gonna bring these people in, you got to give them something to stick around for.
Yeah. Cool. Well said. What do you think, Kenshi? What do you think they should put in 15 to kind of, I would say, attract casual players or players that don't necessarily play KOF or SNK games?
So I definitely agree with DZ on like all the stuff he said, and to add on to that, for like casual players, I think it would be really nice to kind of take note from Namco games and have a character customization mode or at least a color editor. I think that would be really nice. And for serious people trying to get into KOF who haven't played KOF before, I think there needs to be not necessarily a straight up tutorial mode, but that would be nice, like actually having a good in-depth tutorial. But I think there needs to be like a execution drill mode, kind of like how 13, when you were playing solo arcade, it had those little challenges in the corner.
Oh, you got free meter for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a mode dedicated to that, because a lot of issues that players have when they first come to KOF is they can't stand hopping because they don't know how to do it or they don't put in the work. Give us a mode that trains those individual execution things that are pretty unique to KOF, you know? I think that would be nice. Or just, throw it in arcade mode like 13 did, but give people a reason to practice the basic movements and other basics that KOF has to offer that other fighting games like, say, Street Fighter doesn't offer. I think that would be a really nice idea.
You know what? Before we get to Rome, Kenshi, like what you said about the little challenges in arcade mode, I would even thinking that it might even be dope to have that even in like online mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For like new players and stuff like that. That way, even if you lose a match, you accomplish something. Like you did something that the challenge has kind of brought to you. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool as well. Ron, what do you think, man? What do you think 15 needs for casuals?
So, as a casual gamer myself, who
here we go.
Games later, I think I want to get crazy with this. I think we need a story mode. Like, I think it's time for, and I don't mean like 13 story. I mean a full, if we can, like Street Fighter 5-esque. Maybe, obviously, please better. It could be shorter, but better. But I think we need a full-on story mode with good cutscenes and what have you, some matches and stuff. Everyone's doing those type of things, and SNK still just does like the storytelling and the endings and like these with the interactions, the pre-match interactions. We definitely need those back too. Now this is where it gets a little crazy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a game called KOF Maximum Impact.
Oh boy.
But this game has a mission mode, right? And it's not like, most mission modes are just trials, which they also have. It's called challenges. This mission mode is like crazy. Like you're doing stuff where you're like beating up a tank from Metal Slug.
Damn.
You like there's a mission where you gotta knock Toto off a tractor. It's hilarious. You just gotta I think dumb stuff like that would be fun for casuals like me. I love that stuff growing up, like especially like the PS2 era of games like the Mortal Kombat.
There it is.
And there it is right there. I think an in-game currency would be nice for like unlocking colors. Like if you want to unlock DLC costumes behind pay, I can understand. But if there's like colors in the game that people can unlock, like maybe every character starts off with 6 colors, but then you can unlock 4 colors to make it 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Have an in-game currency.
Yeah.
That you get like Street Fighter V, where you play matches online, you earn points, or you do storyline missions or whatever. You earn points for that. You can unlock colors. Maybe there could be a few stages that needs to be unlocked. Stuff to keep people playing after a month, because I think that stuff still goes a long way. Unlocking in-game things like that. Trials are a lock. I think they'll come back.
Hopefully more expansive.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. But I think just like for getting the casuals' eyes, I think the single player content, maybe have an art gallery, like they used to do. Like just it's funny because there's a lot of old practices from like the PS2 era of video games that would work today that people don't do. Whereas just unlocking things like hidden concept art, or maybe a single player story mode that's kind of short, or like I said, a mission mode where you're not just doing trials, but it's a mission mode where you're doing like these wacky things. Maybe like beat the four heaven. Let's just say if New Face Team and Golden is in, it's like beat all 4 of them with one character.
Yeah,
that stuff goes a long way. I love doing that.
That sounds hard as hell.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. Yeah, but I like stuff like that. I think things like that'll keep the casuals in that don't necessarily want to dip into online and play matches because they're afraid of what have you. But I think stuff like that goes a long way. Just look at NRS, man. This stuff goes a long way, I think.
NRS kills it with offline stuff, like the single player stuff. It's ridiculous. Just to add on to what Rome said about like the whole in-game currency with like unlocking stuff and customization, SNK Heroines already does that.
Yeah,
like you can't unlock colors, but you can unlock like a lot of little like items and stuff like that to put on your character, like headphones and like accessories and things like that. So it's like, okay, we can't change like the base colors that characters have, but you can still put like a little unique spin on your character. Yeah. Like I've got Shermie running around with headphones, like Shun'ei's headphones and pom poms. Like it's ridiculous. It's like the funniest thing ever.
Word.
Yeah, like I think stuff like that stuff goes like, man. I look at how I was as a kid playing fighting games, and I think about like that's the stuff I love. I loved in Soul Calibur the Edge Master mode. I love that. You have to beat your opponent using only throws, or you have 20 seconds to beat them. Like, I love stuff like
what game is that from? What you said?
Soul Calibur 2.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You remember that mode? That mode was sick, man. And
even the first Soul Calibur had like a nice little quest mode, which was fun.
I think they did,
yeah.
So I think that would be in terms of the casual market, I think that will keep people playing for more than a month. Is just those things right there, and I think SNK needs to capitalize. They have a great universe with these characters, and like as I've said, we need more interactions.
Word.
Like way more. So.
Word. I agree with y'all, man. I agree. Good points. I was definitely thinking of a more fleshed out story mode for sure. I was even thinking like, oh man, even like something silly like mini games. And y'all remember like Rival Schools on PlayStation 1? How they had those little like silly little like mini games, little sports mini games. Like even having something little weird like that in 15 will be fun. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of hold you down if you don't feel like fighting all the time.
Right.
Maybe
let me beat up a car.
Yeah. Or even like a freaking. If they put in USA Sports Team, have a freaking lucky basketball, 3-point shot or something like that. Or something like that, something
like
silly.
Dodge the basketballs with rolls only.
Yeah. No, I mean like an actual like mini game, like different from that. Yeah, like Rival Schools. If y'all familiar with the first
You could even take something from Third Strike, and you know how when you have the mini game where Sean throws the basketballs and you have to parry.
Play the parry, yeah.
Let's say there's like a new Just Defend mechanic or something.
Yeah.
Like you use this to, while Lucky's shooting the basketballs at you or whatever.
Yeah. That would be fun. Yeah. And they can even like borrow some of like gotcha elements from like KOF All Star or something like that, and put it in like the story mode or mission mode or something like that, and have a way better tutorial mode. Way better. I don't even think there is a good tutorial mode in like 14 or a lot of the recent KOF games, man. Like a tutorial mode would be great. Even like in even DBZF, or DBFZ, even the tutorial mode is not that much. I mean, it still helps a little bit, Like have something like that, where it can help new players.
Every fighting game needs to take a page out of Skullgirls' book and Under Knight's book for making a good like a comprehensive tutorial. And
Vulture Fighter 4.
And Virtual Fighter 4, right.
Yeah, Evolution. Yep. That's a really well...
Yeah, those three games, Virtual Fighter, Skullgirls, and Uni, all have excellent tutorials. You can take someone who's never touched Uni ever, and by the time they finish with that tutorial, they might not be godlike, but they're going to be, like, better than somebody who just loads up the game and just goes straight online.
Yeah, exactly.
Day one. Yeah. So it's just like, you need to... Like, and a biggest complaint we hear about KOF, it's too hard. Which, that's another topic for another time. But if people think it's too hard, give them the tools to not make the game as intimidating when they first jump into it.
Yeah. Even have something in the tutorial that's sort of like the Danny J video or something like that. Just have something a little more helpful for players, man. New players and even maybe some experienced players as well, I was even thinking, or for like players that don't normally play KOF, maybe even like doing some crossovers, man, from other games or something, man. Like, what if I said this yesterday? What if there's like a Tekken team or something in 15 or something?
We need a guest team. Nice. A guest team would be awesome.
Yeah, or from a different game or something, maybe DOA or something, or Flexel or something like that. I think that'll be kind of neat to see. I think that'll be kind of fun. I think some people don't want that, but hey, I mean crossovers are they're kind of being a little more commonplace.
As long as they don't break the game or the meta, they're more than welcome.
Right. I mean, it can even be DLC, or something like that. I'll be fine with that. So
I think the guest team is almost guaranteed at this point, man. SNK has been spreading their seeds.
They give out the characters everywhere.
Yeah, like Smash.
Fighting game without an SNK character in there.
Yeah.
Like Geese, Ori, Terry
and Flexel,
right.
X-Layer.
This game that Terry's into, I forget what that one's called. It's another game. He's like in like 10 games, Terry Bogard is. So I think for sure, a guest team is happening. I just don't know how they're going to go. I don't know if it's going to be 3 guest characters from one game or a guest team of like one guest character per, like one from Tekken, one from Street Fighter, one from Guilty Gear, or is it going to be just like all Tekken, all Street Fighter or something?
Yeah, single entry,
Regardless, it would be really nice. But real quick, not to go too off topic, but to add on to like the game modes topic that we were talking about.
Yeah, man.
I thought it just dawned on me when Rome was talking about things that he played in his childhood. I did a little like backtracking, and it might sound weird, but I think not necessarily the fighting game aspect of KOF, but like an adventure mode, like a side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of mode.
Oh, like Tekken
really
Force.
Nice. Because like Tekken Force or
like All-Star, KOF All-Star.
Yeah. Or like I'm embarrassed to admit this, but one of my favorite single-player fighting games growing up was Mortal Kombat Armageddon because of its adventure mode, The Legend of Gaiden. So, like, I actually really enjoyed Tekken 6, and Tekken 6 was my first Tekken game because it had that adventure mode that was like, it wasn't necessarily a fighting game, but had all the Tekken, inputs and everything. But it was like a
scenario campaign
brawler. Yeah, the scenario campaign. I thought that was really cool. And since KOF is a 2D fighting game, and we kind of have an idea of what KOF as a beat 'em up would be with All Star, I think nice short little adventure mode to get people introduced to their characters with some low health, really easy to fight opponents as they progress to an end of a stage. I feel like that would be really nice for new players to, experiment with the game.
Yeah. Man, that sounds dope.
I got one thing I want to say too, just to piggyback on that again. I promise I'll shut up on it. SNK, I hope you guys are watching. This is an idea I've thought of and I've spoken to other people about. If you guys are gonna get back into making non-fighting games, but like using the same fighting and characters, a Yakuza style game where you're in Southtown and you play as Terry, Joe, and Andy. Like that's it right there. Money on the table.
That'd be
dope.
Cool. That would be so cool.
Word.
You're just going through Southtown and you're playing as come on,
and you can like go in shops and
stuff, and you work your way up to geese.
Yeah, work your way up to geese. I think that would be sick. It could be a retelling of the first game.
Yeah,
but in the style of like a Yakuza type game.
Damn, that would be fun.
That could be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Wow. I hope they do that, man. I hope, or at least like start making non-fighting games again. But yeah, those.
Way,
yeah. But yeah, those are some really good suggestions, man. All right, so last kind of topic I wanted to kind of throw out with y'all. So it's a new year, 2021, man. What do y'all think as a community? How can the community improve this year? I know it's a big question. The SNK fighting game community, and for KOF and other games, like, what can we do to like, improve? To like strengthen the community and, kind of retain players or to kind of get new blood. I know it's a big topic but let me know, what y'all think.
Trying to form words for it without without being toxic.
Is
So, like, I feel like us, like the actual inner circle of SNK community and KOF community, I feel like we're doing a good job. We're providing, Rome, Marco, and, Genesis and other people. They're providing online tournaments, despite COVID, we're still actively competing. We're still being inclusive. Like, I feel like us, the inner circle, we're doing fine. It's the little bit of outliers that we have, like I want to call them the KOF fans that just do nothing but shit on our games and, make fun of our shit. We need to do something about them. We need to get rid of them.
I'm doing something about that. What do you mean? What do you want to... Freaking ski mask mafia or something like that.
Like,
what the heck?
So I agree, but like when Kenshi says get rid of them, I imagine like either because everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you don't like KOF and you want to say that, then fine. But it's when they have to rear their ugly heads every time anything KOF becomes relevant is what makes it annoying. Because like perfect example. I don't like Street Fighter 5. Am I going to go out of my way to shit on Street Fighter 5 every time somebody talks about it? Or, there's a clip of it on my timeline? No, because there's no point in that. So it's like, it's like we don't want these people to shut up and feel like their voices are not being heard. It's just like, okay, we heard you like the first 10 times you said it. Like, let's move on.
Like, one of the best ways, like, not necessarily, like, they're always going to be there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We need to drown out the negativity with positive stuff. Like, we need to be louder than them, basically.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to get rid of them. That way, when the outside is looking in, they see more positive than all this hate that comes from the, outlier. I seen a meme recently that had, like, one of the Doomers in a fucking Terry Bogard hat, and it was just like, KOF fans with the 15 trailer, and it's all this negative stuff, and those like fans in quotations, and I'm like,
yeah, and it's
I
like
really hate the fact that I know what you're talking about, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to stop that from happening. But those aren't real fans.
The day that the trailer got pushed back, I immediately saw like they put up like that cyberpunk image, like the yellow background or whatever, and put like the KOF15 logo on it, and I'm like, this is unnecessary, because all you're going to do is just drive people away, and then when nobody buys 15, you're going to be like, oh, why is nobody buying 15? Because their first impression when the game was getting ready to come out was you making memes shitting on the company.
I saw that meme too, and I was like, I laughed a little bit, but I was like, if you really think about it, it doesn't make any sense. One game's been in production for 7 years, and the release date of the game kept getting delayed. This is a trailer for a game that's not even coming out yet.
Yeah.
They did trailer back one day. Like, I was like, it's like I feel like everyone it's always looking immediately for just like anything. Like, people went into the KOF15 trailer, oh, this is going to be crap, this is going to be this, and that. And it's like, well, if you think so, go on, do your thing.
Yeah.
I got finished telling people yesterday, I'm like, you're going to see negative stuff online, and it's understandable. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And just promote your game. I'm not going to go on every Twitter thread and argue with people who say, oh, KOF is trash. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, yo, you know what? I think 15 looks great. If you're interested in playing 15, hit me up, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm just going to keep promoting the game I love.
Yeah.
I don't go on everyone's channel and tell them DBFZ is trash. I think DBFZ is garbage, but I don't do that. I think, that's just me personally. I'm not going to go to other people and say that. And I have my opinions on other stuff, but I hold it. And it's just like, I just don't like when people in the community try to they try to stop other people from playing a game. And it's like, if you don't like a game, that's fine. Don't tell other people. If other people aren't enjoying it, like, let them enjoy the game. Yeah. Don't tell me I'm bad. I should feel bad for thinking the KOF15 trailer looks nice because you think it looks like crap.
Yeah.
Don't try to put me down, and that's what I don't like. But I see that happening on social media, where it's just like, if you say, oh, this looks cool, it's like, oh, you're dealing with mediocrity and all this crap. But I mean, that's a whole loaded topic on terms of like, what can we do to improve the community? I'll just say real quick, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep pushing the game that I like, the games that I love. I'm going to keep trying to be a hub for people, to play on, whether it's my stream, whether when I do my tournaments, if people want to showcase their skill. If people need commentators, I'm always willing to help to put SNK events out there. And that's pretty much it for me. I can't go outside the house. I can't play my locals, but I'm still going to do my best to promote the games I like and just promote overall positivity in terms of like this scene, because this scene needs a lot more. There's a lot of work to be done, but I'm gonna just try to be like Kenshi said. I'm gonna try to be that positivity to like be loud enough to outshine the negative.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, a lot of times, you just gotta just ignore it, man. Just let it go. Just log off social media. Yeah, block people, mute people. Just log off, play KOF. Go in a certain Discord that that you like, and and talk with people there. But yeah, you can be selective about what you see online. Go ahead, DC.
The main thing I need from people, and this is aimed at the KOF community in particular, like the people that actually play or quote unquote play. If you like a previous KOF, and everybody every KOF has those fans that just never moved on from it or stuck on it. I do it with 97 and 98 and 02 and so on and so forth. If news comes out about the newest game or like a game that's not yours, don't go out of your way to shit on it and try to push your version of KOF. And the big thing happened with 13 that week, and it was just like, if you like 13, you can like 13. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy that you're playing a KOF game. But, I listen to Jay, he used to go by Mr. Yusak, he said it best. He's like, there's nothing wrong with appreciating 13 for what it was, but if the news that comes out today is about 15, keep it about 15. Today's not about 13. And, and the point that I made as well, I'm like, 13 is over. Like, it's legacy, just like 98's legacy, just like 02's legacy. 14 is about to be legacy. And there's nothing wrong with appreciating a legacy game, but when we're leading up and trying to build hype for the new game, we need to keep our attention focused on the new game. Don't try to distract people or try to, diminish the accomplishments of the new game by trying to call back to the old game. I'm not out here, shoving 97 down people's throats because it has rollback. I'm out here hoping that 15 has rollback because I want 15 to do well.
Yeah.
Like, and I just think that as a community, that's what we need to do more. We need to appreciate previous entries while also building hype for the newest entry.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
And not let the previous ones overshadow the new one.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, I think it's okay to share like your grievances about certain KOF games and stuff, because every KOF game I think is good, but then there's always a little nitpicks with like certain games that people have found, and stuff like that. But don't let it
different.
Yeah, but don't like judge other people or try to make people feel bad because they like a certain game or something like that, or try to knock the new game or something like that because it's not what you want. Just play the game that you like. Go ahead, run a stream, run an event, and just play it, man. Just play KOF. Don't like shame or try to judge other people for what they like, or try to bash the game or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just say real quick. I'll even use myself as an example. I've been asked people ask me why I don't like O2UM, and I've said it before. I have a lot of issues with. There's a lot of things with O2UM that I just can't get comfortable with. No matter how much I try to practice it, I can't. In the same breath, I will tell people buy O2UM. It's one of the best KOFs. It's got rollback. The game's sick roster. Like, you'll find people to play with. I run tournaments for the game because I like watching. There's just me playing it. It's like, it just doesn't resonate with me well as it does other KOFs. And I tell people that all the time. And I remember there was even some people kind of getting upset with me that I didn't like it. And I'm like, look, because I don't like it, I'm not telling you not to like it. I'm telling you to play it. I just have my personal issues. I'd rather play a few other KOFs before I play O2, but it doesn't make it a bad game. It's just a personal thing. And that's why I just try to stress is like, it's okay to, like you said, it's okay to have your grievances with a game. But don't stop other people. If other people are enjoying it, let them play the game. Let them have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Use
Street Fighter 5 players to stop playing Street Fighter 5. Let them have their fun.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right, man. Even for me, sometimes I do feel like I have to kind of be a little careful about the grievances because sometimes it can turn people off a little easily. So I always try to make sure to kind of highlight the positive, and then whatever little issues I have with the game. Either I try to keep some of it to myself, but not so much to the point where it's like overshadowing the good part of the game. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I try my best to stay as honest and as possible as I can, and understand that can be difficult for some people, man. I think tone matters, like the way you kind of say it, it that really like kind of that matters a lot, So yeah, I agree with all y'all, man. That's very very well said, man. And as far as again like like building a community or like maintaining it, I think all of y'all are doing good, man, in every single special way. Even if you just retweet or share a stream, that's cool. A lot of the content creators that we have are really really good. For Sam Show and all the other different games. That's really good. I would say like just keep up the good work. Definitely keep up the good work. And also we have to kind of also like keep our relationship strong with like a lot of the casual players, like the super casual players, because a lot of those players, they outnumber us, and you never know.
They carry the sales.
Yeah, they outnumber us, and you never know. Maybe a certain amount of them may want to take the game seriously or something like that. So it's always good to kind of maintain, relationships with those people. So yeah, that's always good. But yeah, I think that's. What's up, Kenshi?
I just thought of another thing. There's a stigma with KOF of it being a hard game, and I want our community to stop enforcing that stigma. And by that I mean,
please.
I know a lot of people that will go out and brag about being, a KOF player because our game's so hard, and Street Fighter 5's piss easy or some shit like that. Whatever it is that they say, stop doing that. Don't, all fighting games are hard. In some way, all fighting games are hard.
Yeah.
Just because so-and-so game isn't hard to you doesn't mean it's not hard or it can't be taken very competitively. Stop pushing the narrative that KOF is hard, because that pushes people away, and that gets people outside of the KOF community thinking, oh, they're saying it, their game must be hard. Don't push that narrative.
It's like KOF to me is probably the easiest 2D fighter I've played, and and it's like, and I'm speaking like not as a KOF player, because like, yes, I've been playing KOF for decades, but like when I think about it, like Guilty Gear is harder than KOF to me. BlazBlue is harder than KOF to me. Uni is harder than KOF to me.
Yes.
Like these games are, and as a fighting game in general, you could take the most basic fighting game. So people need to learn that what a skill floor is versus a skill ceiling. And the skill ceiling on every game is very high. Like every single fighting game, the skill ceiling is very high. You are not going to pick up any fighting game day one and beat the EVO champion. You're just not going to do it. But as long as that skill floor is accessible to a new player, that's what people need to focus on. I don't think KOF skill floor is that high. I don't think it's that high at all. It might be a little higher than, the lowest game out there, but it's not that high. It's not that hard to get into KOF. The hardest thing I'd probably think about that needs to be learned is that learning about hops versus jumps, because you'll see a lot of people who come from Street Fighter, and then when they play a KOF, they just commit to full jumps every time. But with a little practice, you can break that habit. It's not hard.
Right.
And just real quick on that too, my thoughts on that whole hard thing, because I don't like that stigma either. I think what it is, and this might be a bit of a call out from non-KOF players, but I think saying KOF is too hard really means I can't win at the game in 2 weeks of practicing.
Yeah.
Legacy players. So because I can't beat legacy players after 2 weeks, I'm just gonna quit. That's what I think personally.
You can't do that in any game.
But that's how I feel. And like you said, with the skill ceiling, a lot of KOF players are legacy players. There's people that have been playing since '94 who are in their late 30s and 40s right now who are not stopping until they can't. We're considered, like, I didn't start playing until 2010. I'm a legacy player now. I've been playing for 10 years. I've been playing 13, 14 older games. You're not going to pick up the game tomorrow and beat me in a month or so. You're going to need all the practice you can get. And that, I think that's where the KOF is hard from. That's where I think a lot of it comes from, is people quit because they're like, oh man, I can't beat all these guys, so I must not be good. When it's like, no, these are dudes that have been playing KOF as a whole for decades. Like, you can't just come in here and beat them. Like, and I think that's what it is. I think that's where it mostly stems from. Because let's be real. I mean, I'll even tell you a funny, situation. A long time at Next Level, we were playing KOF 13, and some guy was like, oh, that looks hard, talking about HD combos. Same dude wants to play Marvel and was doing lightning loops, and I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you're doing lightning loops, bro.
Speaking of Marvel, and this is probably another call out. That whole I don't want to learn 3 characters thing, it's BS. Don't tell me you don't want to learn 3 characters that are played in elimination style, and then you turn around and go play Marvel 3 or DBFC.
Yep, there it is.
So you telling me you can't play 3 characters in a set order, but you can play a 3v3 fighter where you're swapping between them on the fly? I don't want to hear that.
Okay, well said. Very, very well said. As far as the whole KOF is hard thing, I don't really like that notion either, because it kind of scares people away from even trying to want to get better, and then people use it as some sort of like excuse and stuff like that. I'm usually a little more like on the side of like calling it challenging, but that can be for like any fighting game. Like anime fighters can be challenging, they can be really challenging. Like Guilty Gear, that game is challenging. I remember trying Untitled. That game can be challenging as well. So yeah, a lot of different fighting games can be challenging. I mean, fighting games as a whole is challenging. Depending on like how good you're trying to get in and what kind of events you're trying to kind of get to and stuff like that, or whatever sort of rank at a offline tournament that you're trying to get to or something like that. Whenever you play good people in anything, it's going to get harder. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Even like chess. for example, man. Like you play, the really really good people in chess. They'll kill you in like 3 moves.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh man, this
You
is
won't even
hard.
know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what? I didn't see that. Like, so a lot of different things can be hard at different levels, but or challenging at different levels. But yeah, I mean, again, like I always thought like KOF was like a more expanded like hardcore fighting game compared to like Street Fighter. You pick 3 characters, there's different jumps and stuff, and then there's like system mechanics and stuff like that. I thought it was just like a more challenging version of Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? And that's just comparing it to just that. But as a whole, yeah, I do feel like it is a challenging game and series, but a lot of other games can fall into that slot as well. So yeah, just calling it hard, I don't really like that. I say it's challenging, but again, a lot of other games can be very very challenging at first and very challenging at the higher level, like most definitely. Like Vulture Fighter, 3-button game, and you can mash a little bit, but yeah, you play really good people in that game, dude. You're not gonna know what
Eat you alive.
Yeah. People say, even Tekken, people call that game, very challenging, and I see people kind of share their grievances about, when they're playing really good people, and then some of the moves look kind of like ambiguous and stuff like that. Yeah, the game's challenging, but guess what, man? It's still fun, and it's, people still play it because it is challenging. I mean, if a game's a challenge, it should make you want to play it and practice it even more, because like there's more replay value. You're gonna have practice and grind a little bit more. You're gonna have to study more and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think people should be afraid of like a challenge, especially in a fighting game, man. Just rock with it. Just have fun with it. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I bring up one point? Perception is everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So like because going back to the difficulty per game argument, I remember there was one guy, I was playing Tekken with a group of guys, and they're like, at least among that group, I was like probably the best player out of them. I'm not that great at Tekken. I'm like mid-tier at best. And they're like, oh, you're so good, you should go do this, go do that. And I'm like, I'm not that good. Like, if you watch me play against someone who's been, playing, well, I've been playing for a decade too, but I didn't devote time to it. But if someone who's like trained hard enough to like win major tournaments, they're gonna eat me alive, and it's gonna be like 3 perfects in a row.
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah.
But just like if you see one person that you think is really good at something, you can't think like, okay, well, if I can't beat them, the game's too hard, because there's different levels to players in every game. You got people who are just getting into the game, you got your middle of the pack, your gatekeepers as they call them, and then you got your people who get the top 8 and flounder, and then you got the people who are always in top 3. Like, you got to work your way up. You're not just going to pick up the game and then win a tournament in next month. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I see that a lot with like a lot of new players that come into KOF. It's like, oh man, I'm good at Street Fighter, I'm good at Mortal Kombat,
how hard can it be?
And no, but they say things like, "Oh man, but in KOF I can't do anything." I'm like, dude, because you just started, man. Like, same.
Yeah,
it would be the same like situation if you're just starting the games that you just said, like DOA or something like that. The formula's a little
different.
Yeah,
like the formula's a little like it's different. Like, people think because the formula is similar at the core, like, oh, I have a light punch and a hard punch and a light kick and a hard kick. It's like Street Fighter, but I'm missing 2 buttons. No, it's not. Right. But you also have to keep in mind that, yes, you can apply some Street Fighter fundamentals to KOF, but you can't apply all of it. Like, you can't just jump in because you played a previous 2D game and it was, at a vaguely similar formula.
Yeah, it's different. You have to learn the differences, pretty much. And yeah, it might be a little challenging at first, but hey, once you understand it a little bit more, then you'll have much easier time with it. Kenshi or Rome, y'all have any more thoughts on this before we start to wrap up?
Just a funny thing, was what you guys were just saying about some players coming in and struggling. We had a Capcom player here in New York who's like a sponsored player, cool person. I don't want to out them like that and make them look bad. But basically, they came into 14 with the mindset of, oh, I'm a top player, so I'm just gonna beat everybody, and they didn't last a month. And they could have been good. They're great at other games, NRS games, Capcom games, but it just didn't last a month because they didn't want to adapt to the KOF style. And it's like, you have to understand, yeah, you're really good at this or you're really good at that, but that's a different game. Just like I'm sure if I went into your world, if I went into Marvel, because I don't play Marvel, I'm sure I would get stomped out. But I'm going to be open-minded about, okay, this is a Marvel game. I can't play Marvel like it's KOF. I need to learn the Marvel neutral, and be humble about it and learn it, and then I'll get better. But this person, they were just, they were trying to flex their top player, oh, I'm such a good player, and yeah, they didn't last. So I don't think I'm gonna see them around 15 either. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. Can't you?
I got a weird little comparison. I like to compare learning a new fighting game to learning a new language. Especially coming from a 2D fighting game to another 2D fighting game, or an 2D anime fighting game to another 2D anime fighting game. You have the bare bones that you need, but you need to learn the language of that game. You need to learn how that game works. Yeah, I can read the letters that I'm seeing when I read Spanish, but that doesn't mean I understand it. You have to actually apply yourself and learn the intricacies, learn the grammar, And fighting games are very similar in that aspect. You have the idea of what footsies are. You have the idea of what this is. You have the idea of what that is. But not exactly how it works in that specific game. So you need to practice and apply yourself and figure it out as you go. All fighting games take time to learn, just like all languages will take time to learn.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
I like that comparison.
Yeah. I even I like comparing them to instruments as well, like learning how to play, guitar or piano and stuff like that. The only thing is different is when you're playing an instrument, unless you're battling, there's no direct competitive element to again, unless you're doing battle of the bands or something, or you're trying to be the best musician or something like that, but as far as actual learning how to play it, yeah, it's similar to that, but once you get to the competitive aspect, yeah, there's a whole different kind of dimension to it for sure, so yeah, I agree with you on that one. And different instruments have different unique properties, and some of them are a little more challenging than others. With certain languages, some people say Japanese is hard, or learning Icelandic is difficult, or Russian is a little more difficult because of all the intricacies and the words and stuff like that. And just like with fighting games, a lot of fighting games have a lot of intricate details and stuff that you have to remember and use to your advantage when you're playing against someone else. So yeah, I agree with y'all on that one, man. Yeah, well said. Very, very well said. So yeah, man. I appreciate the discussion, y'all, man. Why don't we get up out here and throw some shout outs in the air, and let's try to conclude this discussion. Why don't we start with Rome? You got some shout outs you'd like to share?
Shout outs to Terry Bogard for being the coolest protagonist ever. Shout outs shout outs to all the FGC, as a whole, to the people that are just staying up, and right now with everything going on in the world, and just everything that happened even last year with the FGC, and just everyone that's keeping going, playing games, whether you're commentating, playing, running, hosting, even a simple retweet, any type of thing you're doing to promote your scene and the overall scene, just keep that up. Big shout outs to you, Desmond, for always inviting me to these podcasts. I love doing them. I'm glad I was conveniently off, so I was able to do this in its entirety and have it back out.
Right. Thanks.
And big shout outs to my team, Dynamic Focus, who just keeps me going, who keeps me out here, and putting me to work, make sure I'm not slacking, and just shout outs to them and everyone in the chat and at home. And yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. All right, Kenchi, shout outs.
Let's see here. Obviously, shout outs to you guys for, letting me be on here all these times in a row. Shout outs to Denjin. He's been grinding 14 and he's getting pretty freaking good at it. Like, he's giving me a run for my money, and I used to be able to wash him free, and now it's like neck and neck, and I'm like, I love it. I finally can play this game offline with someone at my level. Yes. Shout outs to Calvin Klein, the dude who can never decide on his name, but I'll always call him Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
He kind of came back to 14, and a lot of people seem to have followed. Purist is playing again. I'm playing again. Denjin's playing again. And Hajin Shinobi's talking about playing again. So it's like, and like more of my Steam friends list is like popping up, like Mr. Flamenco and some other names just popping into our lobbies whenever, Calvin's streaming. So shout outs to him for kind of resuscitating our terrible delay-based netcode of the game, because it does make me happy. I love that game to death, and it's nice to be able to play it again, even if it's not optimal online. Shout outs to the homie El Matador 13. Always love that guy. He absolutely loves 13, but he will never diss my KOF ever. And he used to, but he grew up and he doesn't do it anymore. And I love it. I love how he's what I think a 13 worshiper should be. Love your game. Don't hate anyone else's game to their face. Like, I really respect that about him. And shout outs to Marco, because he's constantly, doing the Bodega Classics, and it's really nice to still see KOF 14 tournament support this late into the game, even especially after O2UM, one of the more popular KOFs, has rollback now. I'm glad he's still supporting 14. So, and cool. Shout out to Crispy Kaiser for not breaking NDAs on my channel when I told him to. I was like, yo, tell me, just break your NDA. Is it gonna have rollback? And he's like, nope, I'm out of here. I can't tell you anything.
Let the man keep his job. Let him keep his job.
Yeah.
But he could take a joke. He knew I was just playing with him, and I really respect that about him.
Yeah, that's always good,
Fantastic community manager.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, shout out to Crispy for real.
Yeah, for sure. On my end, yeah, man, shout out to all y'all for coming on. I really appreciate it, through and through, and always, really good, consistent crew that we have on here. And again, big ups to all y'all that's creating content, man. Either you're streaming, making videos, even just just sharing your thoughts, on social media, man, and keeping things, well and positive, and being honest too. It's big props to everybody, that does as much as they can to support the community and support the players. You know what I'm saying? That's always good, even if you're not actively playing. As long as you're supporting people and making sure that people are good to go. That's good to go with me. So yeah, thanks again. And big props to everybody, even just doing stuff like on the, Discord and also, contributing things to the Dream Council Wiki. Appreciate that so much. And all the other Discords and stuff like that and other KOF communities and many different places. Yeah, big props. Really big props, man. So thank you all so much again, man. I really appreciate it. So, but yeah, why don't we go back to the promo and plugs real quick. Again, Neo Dojo special February 20th. Regime Royale was that February 13th, 14th, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Check that out. Be sure to follow them on Twitter. And yeah, also check out Dragon Punch Online. They do O2UM every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Shout out to Genesis DC for running KOF every week on Saturday.
Yeah, through
Love
through
that guy.
Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, like we need lobbies, man. People just like just working extra hard, man, and that's good, but yeah, for sure. And that's 6:30. Is that Central or Eastern? I'm guessing that's Eastern, right?
Yeah, we're Eastern time here in Ohio.
All right, cool. All right, thanks. All right. So yeah, this concludes another installment of the Dream Council podcast. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCouncil.com, and until next time, keep playing, keep learning, and have fun.